everyone, and welcome to the 2020 Teacher of the Year celebration for Center Grove Community School Corporation. I'm Rich Arkanoff, your superintendent, and I want to thank you so much for being here this evening. This evening, we're taking the opportunity to recognize our Teacher of the Year for each building. Those teachers are selected by their peers, and tonight we're just super excited to get to recognize each of you. You know, all of you deserve to be that Teacher of the Year, especially this year. With everything that's going on. I just want to thank you so much. Now, one of the other things we'll be doing tonight is that we will be recognizing who our Teacher of the Year for the corporation will be. And that person is selected by an independent group at Franklin College. And we're excited to be unveiling that this evening as well. So, thank you for all that you do. Sit back, and I'm so excited that we get to enjoy this evening with our community as well. So, enjoy the show. Thank you.
Hi. I'm Jason Taylor. Welcome to the Center Grove Teacher Celebration Night. We'd love to join you in the high school auditorium for this evening, but that just wasn't possible this year. So we've put together a great video to celebrate all of our amazing teachers in Center Grove. Each of you makes a difference for our students every day, and we are thrilled to celebrate our teachers this evening. I'm honored to both organize the selection process and help prepare the event each year for our teachers. Before we celebrate our teachers, I'd like to thank a few people who made this evening possible. First and foremost, Stacy Conrad, whose time was spent producing, editing, and broadcasting this video for you this evening. Lene Froman in my office, who helps all year with the selection process. Our principals for their kind words that you'll get to enjoy later this evening. David Moffitt and Janet Stone with Franklin College, who select our finalists for Center Grove Teacher of the Year. Our PTOs and our parent groups who provide annual support to this event. And finally, Ron Wallman with Horace Mann for his continued financial support of this evening and our awards. Ron was kind enough to prepare a video for us. Let's all take a look.
Good evening, Center Grove teachers and staff, and happy Teacher Appreciation Week. As Center Grove's Horace Mann representative, this evening is my favorite event of the school year. I believe the Legacy Awards are a great example of the impact you make in young lives. Hearing the comments of your former students can be touching, inspiring, and even comical at times. And being honored as a Teacher of the Year is a great recognition for all your hard work and dedication. It is truly my pleasure to sponsor these awards. I would like to take a moment to thank all of the Center Grove teacher and staff members. Last week, I celebrated my 18th anniversary with Horace Mann. Throughout the years, I developed a tremendous respect for your dedication, commitment, and how you care for your students. But these past couple of months, you've blown me away. Quite honestly, it must be a daunting task to select only one winner in each building. From what I've observed the past few weeks, I feel like I could hand out a few hundred of these awards. I don't have a few hundred on hand. Guess I could do a few hundred brownies. Porch pick up, anyone? I've never been prouder to not only be your Horace Mann representative, but also a community member and a Center Grove parent. If you find yourself at the end of a long, stressful day, wondering if you're still making an impact on your students, trust me, you are. I see it firsthand in my own household. I would like to say thank you, and they would like to say thank you as well.
Thank you, Maple Grove teachers.
Thank you to all my middle school teachers.
Thank you for all my elementary, middle, and high school teachers for helping me with my 12 years of schooling.
Thank you, Center Grove teachers, for a great 12 years. Thank you to all the Maple Grove teachers, the Middle School Central teachers, and the high school teachers. I appreciate you more than you'll know.
Thank you, teachers.
Although this event is virtual this year, don't let that take away from this moment. Maybe you got dressed up tonight, maybe you didn't. But the impact that you're making on your students is still just the same. So, once again, congratulations and thank you. Thank you for your flexibility and the extra hours you're putting in these past few weeks. And thank you for always striving to do your best. And I'll look forward to seeing you at my second favorite time of the school year, back to school day in the Hall of Excellence in a few months.
Teachers were selected by their colleagues in each building based on the following criteria: concern for individual students and the ability to inspire learning, ability and willingness to work cooperatively with colleagues, willingness to devote time and energy to activities which result in improved instruction for children, and exemplified use of innovative practices in their classroom. Let's celebrate and honor our Teachers of the Year who exemplify these characteristics each and every day. Now our building principals will share their Teacher of the Year candidate.
Center Grove High School's 2020 Teacher of the Year, Cindy Cullum. Cindy teaches within and serves as the department chair of the Social Studies Department at Center Grove High School. She also serves as a mentor to all new teachers in the building. She voluntarily organizes and facilitates meetings at the start of every school year to help new teachers acclimate to CGHS and to have a place to come and get their questions answered, no matter how small. She is definitely a leader in our building and provides a calm and rational perspective that is deeply rooted in a love for her students and the educational profession. I reached out to some of her colleagues to get their thoughts, and they had some wonderful things to say. Here are a few samples. Cindy has always had an open and nurturing spirit and a pragmatic and down-to-earth approach to teaching and leadership. She gives to others with a kind heart. For example, we have always had an open invite to bring our kids over to their house to swim during the summer. I know that goes for others in our building as well. Cindy is a great teacher and department head because she has the unique ability to blend in with the Women's Breakfast Club and sit with all the boys for lunch, and is perfectly at ease in both settings. I feel this style carries over to the classroom. When you combine her approach with males and females, along with her love for students and her subject, you get a great teacher and a very worthy Teacher of the Year. Cindy's focus with CG students, albeit her forte, is not always in the classroom. She has been a mainstay working during athletic events, whether as an announcer at volleyball or even wrestling, or scoring or handling tickets. Cindy has always been someone we could count on. She combines her classroom-style work ethic with some excellent people skills. She serves as an ambassador for CG in whatever capacity we need, and we have appreciated her efforts throughout the years. Please join with me in recognizing Center Grove High School's Teacher of the Year, Mrs. Cindy Cullum.
Hello, I am Craig Smith, proud principal at Center Grove Middle School Central, and I am so excited to share with you this evening our 2019-2020 Teacher of the Year, Miss Carrie Sumney. Would like to share with you that we at Middle School Central are so honored and excited to recognize and celebrate Miss Carrie Sumney. She has been an integral part of all things Middle School Central and is an excellent example of what our students, our staff, our families, and our community hold dear. Carrie Sumney lives and breathes our Center Grove Middle School Central collective commitments and values. She finds joy in all that she commits. She is passionate about learning and about being an educator. She knows the importance of connection and building strong, wonderful relationships with students, colleagues, and parents. Carrie will forever be a lifelong learner that embraces a growth mindset. She is a dynamic individual who helps lead our physical education and wellness department. She is also a club sponsor. She is an RTI teacher this year and is just an all-around wonderful person. I would like to showcase some of the things that her colleagues shared with me about her, and here they are. I'm inspired by Carrie's never-ceasing desire to connect with her students. Carrie is a welcoming, all-inclusive person and educator. Her compassion for her students makes a huge impact on their achievement and well-being. Carrie has such a warm heart and a sense of kindness. She is always willing to go above and beyond and go the extra mile when it comes to her students. She is truly passionate and dedicated to her love for teaching. Carrie Sumney has mastered the art of pulling out the potential in kids by helping them find their voice in the world. She has totally embraced teaching RTI this year and has been so rewarding for her and the kids. It has even been exciting to watch her grow as a math teacher. We love that Carrie Sumney is and holds students accountable and praises their success. Next, you have been a rock star in the wellness department for years, and this year you came upstairs and stepped up to the plate and hit a home run supporting 8th grade math as an RTI teacher. We're lucky to have her in our MSC family. Carrie is the epitome of what Center Grove Middle School Central stands for. She is kind, caring, compassionate, and she truly spreads joy to all around her. Carrie works tirelessly to make an impact on every single student and adult that she works with. Carrie Sumney is one in a million, and I am so fortunate and thankful to have her as a colleague, a friend, and true role model of humanity for all who know her. Lastly, and I think this summarizes it for all of us at Middle School Central, Carrie, you are so passionate about your students. We know that you care deeply about their physical, emotional, and social well-being. We know that you want to keep all students safe, happy, and healthy. Carrie, we're so proud of you as you represent Middle School Central as the 2019-2020 Teacher of the Year. Congratulations, Carrie.
Sunshine, lollipops, and rainbows. Center Grove Middle School North's Teacher of the Year, January Bowen, brings all three. She's a perfect representative of the exceptional educational experiences that happen in our classrooms every day. Let's start with the sunshine. It takes a wonderful family to help a teacher reach the level at which January performs. I would like to thank her husband Keith and her two daughters, Mara and Lindley, for all that you do to support our Teacher of the Year. I am sure that Keith, Mara, and Lindley are showering January with some of her favorite things like sweet tea, chips and salsa, and peanut butter M&Ms, and plenty of family softball time. She certainly deserves it, because that is exactly the kind of personalized support and encouragement she gives her students every single day. As our school continues to become better at trust-based relational interventions, January has become a teacher leader and an example in this area. Our TBRI consultant specifically recognized Mrs. Bowen for providing felt safety in her classroom by using an upbeat and playful approach while providing for her students' physical and emotional needs. Her students deeply respect and admire their teacher, and that respect keeps them listening and learning at high levels in her classroom. Here's what a few of them had to say about their teacher. She is a funny and talented teacher that knows how to sneak a pun or two in each lesson. In my mind, she loves to help organize the students' work, responses, and even sometimes our folders. I really can't think of another person like her. Another student shared, I would just like to say that Mrs. Bowen has put together a dodgeball team for a kid that wanted to do the tournament but didn't have anybody to do it with. Mrs. Bowen was cheering us every step of the way, and we ended up winning the championship. There were several students who said wonderful things about Mrs. Bowen, but this last one that I will share is a short, sweet summary of what Mrs. Bowen is to her students. My best friend is very shy and has trouble asking questions. Thanks to Mrs. Bowen, she has started to raise her hand more in class, and they continue to talk to each other frequently. Mrs. Bowen also brings the lollipops. She has been instrumental in helping our two new 7th grade science teachers become familiar with the MSN way and the 7th grade science curriculum. She's also provided tremendous examples of using workstations in the classroom. Her ideas are always well received, and her colleagues truly love her. One of them shared, January is a teacher that has found the perfect balance of trust and structure in her classroom. January's classroom is one that our teachers at MSN visit often to observe and learn from. Another teacher said, "Last 9 weeks, I had a transfer student with special needs. January gave me so many great tips that were successful for motivating this young man. I took her advice, and soon he was speaking a little Spanish and rushed into class with a positive attitude. Gracias, January." A third teacher summarized it all when she said, "January Bowen makes me want to be the best person and the best teacher I can be." She greets the kids so energetically every morning that you can see the students roll their eyes at her, yet be so excited to have someone that caring approach them right as they arrive to school. January Bowen is the pot of gold at the end of our MSN rainbow. She loves our school, and our school loves her. Her personal qualities and her professional abilities are truly extraordinary. She is an excellent choice for our Teacher of the Year.
Hello. It is my honor to introduce you to a teacher from Center Grove Elementary School that has changed the lives of countless students, families, and educators. She has inspired hope, ignited imagination through learning and play, and has instilled the love of learning in all the lives. I am honored to introduce you to our 2020 Teacher of the Year, Mrs. Bobby Peterson. She is an outstanding teacher who goes above and beyond to educate all students in creative ways. She's a teacher leader, a master teacher, and a lead learner in her own classroom, school, and district. Mrs. Peterson always wanted to be a teacher. She didn't love school so much when she was in elementary school, but she loved reading and writing. She went to a small parochial school, and her teachers would send her down to the first and second grade classrooms to work with the younger students and tutor them when she finished her work early. It was her favorite part of the day, and that has continued for her throughout her life, as Mrs. Peterson has a huge servant heart and is always helping others and serving others. She has been an educator for 33 years, and the past 15 years has been in a third grade classroom. She loves this grade level because these students are old enough to be independent, but still young to get excited about their own learning. In third grade, Mrs. Peterson can get the kids excited about most anything if she is excited about it. She states, "It is much harder when I taught sixth grade. Third graders are moving from learning how to read to reading for meaning and enjoyment. Many of them enter the grade with the love of reading already in place, but I especially love it when I see the transition. There's nothing better than seeing a child fall in love with their first real book." I asked her students why they love school and why they love being in Mrs. Peterson's room, and they told me what we already know. She makes us feel important. She helps me build confidence in my smile. And she smiles at me all the time. I've definitely built confidence in myself because of her. When Mrs. Peterson reads a book, I feel that I'm part of that book. She makes my imagination go wild. I feel smarter when I am with Mrs. Peterson, and she makes me feel very good about myself. As I've mentioned, she's changed countless lives. She remembers one life that she changed and some other favorite memories. But there's one particular third grade boy that had special needs that has always played a big part in what she does now and what she does in the future to help kids. He was one of those students that keep teachers awake at night worrying how to keep him motivated, how to redirect him when he's off task, how to get him away so he's not distracting other kids, how to keep him climbing the brick wall in the hallway. Well, one day she was working with him in a small group and he was really struggling. Eventually, she sent him back to his seat to try the skills on his own, while she called the next group to the rug. About 5 minutes later, the student shouts out her name, "Mrs. Peterson, Mrs. Peterson," and dashes across the room, leaps over the group of kids that are sitting at her feet, and lands directly in her lap. I get it now, he shouts as he hugged her. The student made a turnaround that day. He still struggled to pay attention and complete his work, but he was so much more willing to try, and that made all the difference. Mrs. Peterson never gives up on her kids. She continues to work and finds just the right fit instruction that meets their needs. I can guarantee you that hundreds of former Center Grove students have mentioned the name of Mrs. Bobby Peterson over the years. They face life each day better because of her influence. The Center Grove Elementary School staff is honored to work and be inspired by Mrs. Bobby Peterson. Bobby, you change lives every day and you make our world a better place. You do this one student, one day at a time, one teacher, one day at a time, one parent, one day at a time, one community. Your colleagues express their gratitude and love for being a part of your school family. One teacher stated, "I find Bobby to be very grounded. She does not let worry or stress drive her reasoning. She is the anchor to our team and many times serving as a deciding vote. And she is one to hold her thoughts to herself until she has heard all points of view. Bobby is wise without being bossy. She is willing to live and to let live, but she will help in any way she can to make things happen for our team. As an instructor, she is kind, she is fun. She's able to tap into potential and see quickly how much a learner has to offer. My students and myself love visiting her room for a lesson or a club and always love any attention that we get from her. Bobby can be quiet and she can be shy. While she does not usually join in with lunchroom foolishness and jokes, she often makes very witty observations and always has her thumb on the pulse of our staff. She can be trusted with a secret and knows when to consider a vent or a passing moment. I count myself very lucky to be on her team and to call her a friend and family. Another staff member remarked, Bobby is all around the perfect teacher and colleague. She is someone you can count on as a team member. She has a wealth of teaching knowledge. Her personality is easygoing. Her patience and calmness with her students is an awe-inspiring moment. She thinks of you, Bobby, as the teacher whisperer. She has such a quiet voice, but puts students in a trance of listening on her every word. Her team shared how Bobby inspired them. There are an enormous amount of attributes and selfless acts that have witnessed or she has been a part of. As her team stated, she has an incredible love for children and their learning. She shows an amazing amount of patience and genuinely cares about their learning and success. She inspires all of us every day with her display of dedication and is an advocate for students. One of my favorite quotes is from Henry Adams. And he noticed and he observed that teachers affects eternity because you never tell where a teacher's influence stops. Bobby, your influence will go on and on as it has for the past 33 years and will continue to affect lives for many years to come. I believe that in my heart, and I know in my whole heart, I thank you. And all the teachers we are honoring today and the many more great educators out there who quietly devote their lives to inspiring children and making a difference in this world. Thank you, Bobby Peterson, for all that you have done. I am honored to work with you every day at Center Grove Elementary School. I am inspired by you. Continue being you. Congratulations, Bobby, for being the Center Grove Elementary School 2020 Teacher of the Year.
In August 1979, Maple Grove opened its doors for the first time, and that is where Ron Hobson started his career as a first-year teacher in 4th grade. Fast forward to this school year, where Ron began his 40th year as a 4th grade teacher at Maple Grove. He has served as a 4th grade teacher at Maple Grove for his entire career. He's a cornerstone of our school, a kind and gentle teacher, and an amazing human. It is my honor to introduce Ron Hobson as Maple Grove's Teacher of the Year. There are two basic types of teacher personalities. There are the boisterous ones, the ones that were meant for the stage and that kids eat them up. And then there are the quiet leaders, the ones where students hang on their every word. This describes Mr. Hobson. He is never one to seek the spotlight. He shies away from accolades and blushes at compliments. However, he makes sure that he makes a lasting impact on his students. His gentle and genuine nature shines through in his day-to-day interactions with all that he encounters. He connects with others in a way that they never forget. Each year when he receives the Legacy Award, students often point back to a pivotal moment in their fourth grade lives, such as a death or a divorce, and how Ron helped them through a difficult time and gave them hope. He helps students see their value, and he speaks to them with respect and humility. It is not uncommon to walk into his room and to look around and not be able to find him. If you start walking around, though, you will quickly locate him sitting on the floor working right beside his students. This might be common for a kindergarten teacher, but not quite as common with the intermediate grades. He's never afraid to get right on their level to lend a hand and ensure that they understand what they are doing. His students always know that he is there for them. Ron's car is the first car in the parking lot each and every day, and that's a testament to his dedication and professionalism. He's just never one to phone it in. His students learn from him because they know that he cares. Outside of the school walls, Ron is a wonderful husband to his wife Paula, who is a teacher at Pleasant Grove, and he is dad to 3 grown children, Joel, Matthew, and Lauren. I know for a fact that one of his favorite titles nowadays is that of grandpa to his adoring grandchildren. His school family at Maple Grove had so many kind things to say about Ron that it took 4 typed pages to capture it all. Don't worry, I won't share them all today, but I am going to share a few from his colleagues. One colleague shared, Ron's patience is unwavering. He treats students with the respect they deserve but don't always get. He shows them that he cares, and they know it. Going above and beyond is how he does it all. Another colleague shared, Ron is one of the most genuine and caring people I have met. He is thoughtful and compassionate and conscientious. He is also hilarious in a very quiet way. I have greatly enjoyed getting to work with him and appreciate the servant's heart that he has towards his students, their families, and his fellow coworkers. This honor is well deserved. And then one of his teammates had so many kind things to say about him, but she shared on a personal level that Ron is one of the most caring and selfless people she's ever met. She said, I know that I can call on him day or night, and he would come help me with whatever I needed. He was assigned to be my mentor 12 years ago, and I still learn from him. More importantly, over the past 12 years, he's become a dear friend, my go-to person when I need somebody to talk to at school, and in many ways like a second dad. I can't say enough good things about him. Ron embodies what it means to be a wonderful teacher. He's compassionate and considerate. He's humble yet knowledgeable. He's a good teammate and a good example. I'm proud to have worked with him the past 8 years as his principal, and I'm so thrilled to see him earn the title of Maple Grove's Teacher of the Year for 2019-2020. Congratulations, Ron.
As principal of North Grove Elementary School, there are so many ways that I am blessed. This past year, my life at North Grove became even more rich. Kindergarten teacher Melissa Gardner joined our North Grove family. Never in my career have I ever witnessed a teacher who has made that much of a cultural and educational impact at a school in her first year. I recently had the opportunity to call a couple of her students to see what they love most about Mrs. Gardner. Comments of, she's so nice, she makes learning special, and she makes me feel special, and we have fun, were all very appropriate. But students also had specifics. One student shared that Mrs. Gardner introduced us to rainbow writing. That's my favorite. Oh, wait a minute. No, it's not. Makerspace is my favorite. Then I brought up the 100th day of school and the student responded, oh yeah, that was my favorite. The truth is, there are so many favorites that happen every week in Mrs. Gardner's class. Her joy for teaching brings joy for learning to her students. Mrs. Gardner's beginning of the day greeting is a favorite for many students too. They get to choose between fist bumps, high fives. One student said that their favorite is hugging it out. Or actually they like dancing it out too. But what I really love is how I see so many nearby classroom teachers who have adopted this same practice. Melissa is an influencer. Melissa's colleagues are very enthused about their teammate and friend at North Grove. Teachers have shared that Melissa's door is always open, whether it's just to laugh, vent, talk. They know Melissa is a friend and supporter. Several colleagues made reference to how inspiring she is. One said, I'm always in awe of how she can read a kid and inspire them to be their best. While another stated, her love for teaching is contagious, and her love for people is inspiring. She is constantly celebrating others' victories. And there was one statement that I really personally connected with. The teacher said, her enthusiasm for teaching is very apparent as she goes all in her lessons. I couldn't agree more. Mrs. Melissa Gardner is all in. If Melissa is planning a lesson or a unit, she's all in. It will be memorable. If Melissa's worried about a child's personal or academic needs, she's all in. She will rest to no end to assure that student is supported. Her grade level team collaboration and PLCs, all in. She's a phenomenal supporter for fellow educators, while she learns from them too. Working with families, all in. Helping other students from other classes, all in. Randomly just doing something nice for someone else, all in. She is all in for everyone in her life, not just at North Grove, but for everyone. Her work family is so blessed to have her as a part of their lives, but I know the commitment she has for her own family at home. She does nothing halfway. She is all in. Whether or not Melissa Gardner is awarded the Center Grove District Teacher of the Year, she will still be all in for Center Grove. Melissa Gardner is an inspiration for all of us, and it is a great privilege to recognize her as North Grove's Teacher of the Year.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Trail Kelly. I'm the principal at Pleasant Grove Elementary School. This evening, I'm honored to recognize Heather Garvey as our 2020 Pleasant Grove Teacher of the Year. Not only is Heather a wonderful educator, but she is an amazing mother to 2 children, Mason and Kinley, wife to Kevin, and treasured colleague and friend to so many at Pleasant Grove. Heather has filled many roles at Pleasant Grove in her 17 years at the school. She has been a special education teacher, a 4th grade teacher, and is now in her 2nd year as the building instructional coach. Heather personifies so many wonderful characteristics that you look for in the Teacher of the Year candidate. First, I'd like to talk about her zeal. From the first time that I met her with her 4th grade team in the old Pleasant Grove office conference room, Heather has always emphasized her passion for professional growth. Year after year, she has always been one of the building leaders in independent searches for professional growth opportunities, always seeking ways to get better. Next, I'd like to emphasize her innovation. As mentioned previously, Heather is always searching for better ways to reach kids and make a difference. With her background in special education, she has a natural feel for remediation and helping students master skills, but her ingenuity and work ethic lead to the differentiation charge by finding innovative and engaging ways to challenge her students that need enrichment. Heather was ahead of her time. As she taught strategies and models that we emphasize today, 12 years ago when I observed her in her classroom. Heather is intelligent, has tremendous work ethic, and cowers to no difficult task. Finally, I'd like to talk about her grit. Grit is defined as courage, resolve, or strength of character. And some of you may not know Heather's story. Just a month into her new position as the instructional coach at Pleasant Grove, Heather received devastating news that her oldest child, Mason, was diagnosed with a rare form of cancer. Obviously, Heather had to deal with the shock of the information, but here is what I saw from an outside view. Just as she does with her teaching, Heather dove in head first. She gathered as much information as she could, searched high and low for the resources she needed, made a plan, acclimated herself to the new normal, and showed leadership even in the face of adversity. The courage and resolve that she shows daily is beyond admirable. Heather, you're an inspiration to us all. As I mentioned, you're an amazing teacher and one of the best people I've ever met. Now for a lighter side. Here are a couple quotes from some of Heather's colleagues. One colleague states, Heather is passionate about teaching. She started at PG as a special education teacher when many students had a challenging time saying the R in the maiden name, Burgie. It sounded like they were saying boogie. Another colleague says that Heather has a natural capability to get along with anyone. Whether easygoing or if they have a challenging personality, Heather has always been able to get along with anyone, which made her role as a special education teacher work well. She easily finds a way to work and collaborate with anyone. Another colleague wrote, I've known Heather for many years and I've rarely seen her without makeup, nails done, or high heels. She's dressed and put together as if she's just stepped out of a magazine. Well, Heather, I just want to say we're proud of you. Congratulations on being the 2020 Pleasant Grove Teacher of the Year.
Better than 1,000 days of diligent study is one day with a great teacher. Japanese proverb. Unfortunately, we're in a place and time right now where our teachers can't be in front of students teaching due to the coronavirus pandemic going on around us. Fortunately, for the first grade students of Room 3, they were able to have 138 days with an amazing teacher, Susan Henniger, and I believe her impact will steadily carry them through this wavering time in education. Susan was chosen as our Teacher of the Year at Sugar Grove this year by her colleagues and is an incredibly well-deserved award. Susan is the kind of teacher that shines in a humble, quiet way. Our staff knows her talent, drive, passion, and success as a teacher without her ever saying a word about it to others. It just shows through. Susan is a leader at Sugar Grove. She serves on several committees and leads our school as a building UTech rep. Because of her various roles, she has the privilege of working with and leading our teachers in different ways. Susan is a great listener and someone our staff trusts to talk to, including me. Susan is always a sound ear with a big picture mindset. She's selfless and supportive to her coworkers and always willing to share ideas, pitch in to help others, and try new things in her classroom. We had a big math initiative at Sugar Grove this year, and Susan was a trailblazer for us. She jumped in and worked with our coach at the start of the year and was determined to implement balanced math with fidelity in her classroom. The change in math culture and conversations with her students was clear, and her data showed huge growth in her classroom this year. Susan not only pushed her students academically, but focused on meeting their social and emotional needs as well. With a wide variety of backgrounds in her class this year, she had a unique set of little minds and emotions to strengthen, and was very intentional about making sure her students felt safe and loved at school. Susan is not only an incredible teacher, but someone I'm proud to call a friend. I want to share a few words from some of her colleagues. Susan was the best neighbor to have during my student teaching in 2018. She was always willing to answer any questions I had and gave wonderful suggestions when I was stuck. I also loved that she always came to ER with fancy pens and candy, and still does. Always prepared for anything. You rock, Susan. My first year at Sugar Grove, I worked with Susan and the first grade team. It was a wonderful experience. Susan, you made me feel included and appreciated. You celebrated your students when they moved up a reading level or achieved a goal. I loved the way you always looked for ways to help your kids succeed and pumped them up with encouragement. They were so proud of themselves, and so were you. Another colleague said, Susan is truly one of a kind and one of my favorite people. When my son first started in her class last year, I didn't know Susan very well. But I quickly learned that she has a heart of gold and will do anything for my child and for me. She understood my son's personality, his strengths and weaknesses, and the best way to work with him. The love and kindness she put into my child, as well as all of the kids in her class, is far beyond anything I could have imagined. Along with the love she gives her students, she pours into them academically as well. The growth I see in her students is amazing. Susan is also a great friend. Thank you, Susan, for being there for me when I'm having a hard day. Congratulations on this well-deserved honor. Susan, I could continue. We have tons of staff members who want to wrap their arms around you and congratulate you. And hopefully we'll get to do that again in person soon. But thank you so much for all you do at Sugar Grove. We are so proud to have you representing our school this year as Teacher of the Year. Congratulations.
Greetings. I am Mr. Proctor, the proud principal of Walnut Grove Elementary. And I am here to congratulate Mrs. Stephanie Dotson for being named the first Walnut Grove Teacher of the Year. To be nominated by your colleagues as Teacher of the Year is a tremendous honor. Stephanie is dedicated, energetic, compassionate, engaged, and amazing first grade teacher. All of you have a very similar belief about your role as teachers. A very powerful constant amongst all of you is that you know how to lead your students to embrace the possibility of success in their lives. For some students to even consider the possibility of success, it is enormously courageous because they face so many challenges in their young lives. Sometimes the last thing on their mind when they come to school is success and learning. But we know once a student really begins to see a possibility of success in their life, they blossom, and then there's no holding them back. So how do the Teachers of the Year lead students and even their colleagues to consider the possibility of success? Mrs. Dotson's strategy is simple. She makes it her business to discover each and everyone's interests, uniqueness, and talents, and then capitalizes on this knowledge by creating dynamic and engaging lessons for every student. Let's just say Mrs. Dotson makes it her priority to discover what makes her students tick. You could say that what makes her tick is making her students tick, or our teachers think. I'd like to take this moment to share just a few words that our colleagues had to share about you. Stephanie is so warm and kind, both to her students and her coworkers. She was always willing to help out someone in need. Her organizational skills put the rest of us to shame. She is able to juggle her position, a family with very busy schedules, is on the cutting edge of innovation and even dyslexia training, and she makes it all look effortless. She is amazing. Stephanie displays compassion for every student that walks in her room and throughout the building. She utilizes many resources to reach the needs of her colleagues. She is not only supportive of students, but also her colleagues, accommodating them in numerous ways to help them reach their potential. Stephanie makes being at school a pleasurable experience for the children and the adults that she reaches. She is the best of the best. Although we ended our year abruptly, you are the one that loved greeting students and staff in the hallway, mentoring new teachers, and serving on leadership teams. It has been a wonderful privilege to celebrate what you do for our Wildcat students every day. There is no underestimating a positive role model in a child's life like Mrs. Dotson. Sometimes the smallest, most insignificant events in life can develop into something large, important, and life-changing. Look for those moments, grab the possibilities, and continue to be that person in someone's life this year. Congratulations once again to Mrs. Stephanie Dotson for being selected as Walnut Grove's first Teacher of the Year.
Each of our Teacher of the Year candidates make their school a better place to learn, work, and grow. Congratulations to all of our Building Teachers of the Year. Now, for the moment we've all been waiting for.
All right, everybody. We are here today to surprise the 2020 Teacher of the Year for Center Grove. We are going to knock on her door now. Oh, I hope she's home. I hope she's not in her swimsuit.
We didn't call ahead, right?
Oh, hey, Miss.
Hey, hold on.
Miss Sunny, how are you?
Hi.
Hey.
Hi.
Congratulations. You are the 2020 Teacher of the Year for Center Grove. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Woo! Virtual high five.
Wow.
Center Grove colors. Yeah. There you go. Carrie, we'll get this engraved with your name on here and get it to you.
I don't know what to say.
You don't have a speech prepared?
I don't have a speech.
Oh, we had like an hour's worth of film for you.
Hi. Thank you.
Congratulations. So here's a nice check for $1,000, courtesy of Horseman. Thank you, Ron.
Thank you, Ron.
Welcome. Awesome. Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you for the personal delivery to my house.
We're glad you were here.
Yeah, we were worried.
Call ahead on that one, huh?
Yeah, I'm glad you weren't in your PJs or something.
No, I guess. I would have put some makeup on and done my hair or something.
That would ruin the surprise. You're welcome.
I'm so touched and so honored and very humbled.
Oh, well, we're thrilled. We're thrilled to have you, and you're an awesome teacher. I know that. So, great job.
Thank you.
Well deserved.
Thank you, you guys. Virtual high five.